What's going on, everyone? This is Vic from Trading Academy Group and Investments. Once again, here is another quick video on a quick update on HIMS and HERS. Right, it's been about almost 2-3 weeks that I've released an update on this stock. Not much going on, obviously, but let's go ahead and let's get right to it. All right, so weekly time frame. So let's focus on what's been going on in the past 2 weeks, right? This is the weekly time frame. So as you can see, this was the actual news that came out as far as earnings. And then after that, all of a sudden we came and we gave all that move all the way back up, right? Not surprising. Now, guys, on my last video, I didn't really go ahead and talk too much about the gaps, right? Some gaps get actually filled, some don't. But those of you who pretty much, it looked like this market was actually just going to go ahead and continue up, right? Because of this nice move. But realistically, I was really actually expecting a price down, and I did mention it on StockWits. I get a lot of people sending me messages as far as what I predicted from this recent move up, and honestly, I knew we were going to go back down, right? I was waiting for a retest. If you look at the higher this section right here, if you look at that low number, 547, that is the number that I was waiting for us to hit, as that is actual structure, market structure. So when I say, right, market structure, as you guys can see on previous videos, I actually have this pretty much marked up on the charts already. It's how the market moves. It creates higher highs, higher lows, or lower lows, lower highs, depending on the direction, right? So HIMS has been making new lower lows and lower highs, but ever since we got this new low down here, and I'll just go ahead and expand it so you guys can see, ever since we made the 407, again, look at the top number up here, low of 407, we haven't actually really we've come close to it, but we haven't really actually actually broken that low. So that is the actual low right now. I'm expecting somewhat of a high, or at least a retest of that 547. And the reason I have a feeling this is going to go all next week, it should be going up, is so that we can finally come to that 547 price range and actually retest. So the high, if you look at the high here, we just missed it by 3 points, right? It might not necessarily be that it's going to reach 547 exactly. Remember, you know, these lower lows and lower highs are, or support and resistance areas, they're more like a range, and they're not a specific price. Okay, but once the earnings report came out, it left this gap, and I just had this feeling we were going to go right back to it. As you already know from my previous videos, HIMS and HERS is notorious for actually covering their gaps. FYI, if you haven't realized it yet, this is more of a technical analysis. I honestly don't focus whatsoever on fundamental analysis, with the exception of the earnings report. Why? Because it kind of tells me where do we see that company going, and what is the actual big picture of this market. Now, one thing I really want to mention is a lot of people are very, I read a lot of your guys' comments on StockWits and whatnot, and you guys are, same thing, here we go again, we're dropping again, and all this other stuff. Guys, we've been in this range for quite a bit, right? Even here, prior to this forming the new lower low, lower high, I mean, just look at it. We ranged in that area within the 6 and the 540 area-ish, right? Before we dropped again. So, are we going to drop again? I don't know. I honestly can't tell you. All I can tell you is pretty much for technical analysis, the 407 price range, that's the low we want to hold, and we have to hold, right? So the market had left this gap here last week. I'll tell you that right now, guys, there's a gap right here. Now, these gaps are very, very close, right? All this just tells me, hey, guess what? We're probably getting ready to go back up, right? So we're continuing to range. And one thing that I did want to show you guys is, so for example, let's say Dow Jones, right? A lot of people ask me, hey, what do you think about Dow Jones or the S&P 500? Typically, when the market is a bear market, or I mean, Dow Jones is bear, normally the entire market is, usually the entire market is a bear market, right? I don't normally focus on those. Like I said, I look at each individual stock by itself. I don't go based off what Dow Jones is doing or the S&P 500, whatever the case may be. Because if you look at this, right, since 3 January, I had made a prediction Dow Jones was actually going to drop, and sure enough. But my thing was that even though this has dropped from 36.3, right, all the way down here, look where the market is at right now. You go back to HIMS, and what is there to worry about? We've been in a range. We've been just going sideways. So that tells me, even though we dropped up here, when you look at the market and how bearish and how much has been bleeding, HIMS has actually been holding. So that's actually a good sign. That's the way I look at it. I don't look for daily moves. I look at these candles on a weekly basis. And I see how the market closes for the week, right? Every Friday. What the market does on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Okay, I'll take a quick glance. I'll see what's all the hype about and whatnot. But I'm not really too worried until I see that Friday candle close. All right, guys. So once again, just a quick short video on a quick update on HIMS and HERS. Expecting it to go back up 547 range, if not maybe even break it. Once we break that range, hopefully we can go ahead and pull back. That 547-ish, this area right here is going to be our first support zone, and then hopefully go up to the $7.15, which is where one of our actual most important gaps are at. All right, guys. Don't forget, if you like the video, like and subscribe. If you please share your comments. If you want to see any other technical analysis for any other tickers, just leave your comment below or send me a message. All right. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, guys, and you have a great night.